Hello, everyone. My name is Dion Morales, your host of the Gold Squadron podcast, and we're coming to you live from the top 8 of the Space Jam Championship Rome edition. Hopefully, you guys are ready to have a good time. I know I am. I'm going to actually reopen our betting and votes, guys. If you've never played Choose Your Champion with our wager system, this is something new that we've just opened up for the first time here for Space Jam Rome. It's super easy to play. We'll talk about that in a minute, but if you know how to play, you got your chance. So again, this Space Jam tournament is a series that we're putting on 4 different events, premier level play with players all around the world, 4 different time zones, 4 different championships, 4 championship belts. Darren, you got to remind me to show off the belt after next round. I forgot to do it during the last giveaways. I will try to remember. Chat, remind me so I can show off that belt. It's snazzy, let me tell you that. Now, before we go too far, let me introduce my co-host for today. Who are you?
I am Darren Granger. Hi, everybody, and it's been my pleasure to be covering this this section of the world's Space Jam tournament. You might remember me from such episodes as the Worlds Incident and the Denver Incident. And I also on the Sith Take podcast here in the UK. So then, Dion, who have we got for this round?
So we have on the left, we have Brendan Morrissey and Akhter. Akhter is a 2-time cut maker for Space Jam. He actually did play in the Space Jam Chicago event. And Brendan, we had him yesterday. He was, as you said earlier, the Kingslayer. He was the only person to beat Ali in Swiss. We saw in that game. That was our biggest upset in the voting, which, again, if you want to place your bets, we're going to leave it open for probably one more turn of planning in order to place your bets and vote on the champion you're going to choose. You can check your balance of points by exclamation point points. No space there. You gain points simply by watching, subbing, following. Pretty easy. Every 20 minutes you're watching, you get a number of points. I think you get 5. You get double points if you're active in the chat. And you can bet those points to earn online on-screen rewards, which we'll talk about later, by typing exclamation point bet. You put a space. You type 1 or 2. 1 is a vote for Brendan. 2 is a vote for Akhter. So that's going to be that way for, forever. 1 is left and 2 is right. And then you put how many points you want to wager. Press enter and the bot will collect your coins. All right, Darren, break down these lists.
So on the left, we've got Brendan Morrissey, from now known as the Kingslayer. He is now the world champion because he beat the world champion. That's how it works. So he's flying the same list as he did yesterday, which is 3 Red Squadron experts, all with heroic and integrated S foils. So they're the pilot skill 3 X-wings for the Resistance, and then we've got Finn in his little pod with heroic and perceptive co-pilot to get his 2 focus tokens, and then Rose Tico in the pod with Crackshot. So a very, very efficient list in terms of what it brings to the table. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, we've got Akhter Khan, all the way from Australia, or as he's known in the UK, Prisoner 8472 of the New South Wales Penal Colony. And so he's flying a list of 4 cartel spacers, 2 of which with tractor beam, 2 of which with ion cannon, and then 2 zealous recruits. So all going at pilot skill 1, initiative 1. It's a really interesting list. It's been floating around in the UK for a little bit, and it's great to see that Akhter's picked this up. I don't know whether he's picked it up independently of that or whether he's seen it and kind of used it from there. But the Sikhs in the latest point update went down by a heck of a lot. I think it's the highest percentage point drop of any other ship. Which obviously means that there's something there to look at. And having those ion cannons and those tractor beams give it a huge amount of board control. And it really, really does increase the offensive output of the Zealous recruits. They're already an offensive ship anyway. But when you've got ships that have taken tractor beams and they're reduced in their agility, it just makes them punch a little bit harder as well. So we've got him here split into 2 formations. I'm going to assume that he's got a tractor beam and an ion cannon in each block. And we've got a block centrally and then one up to the top right of the screen. Whereas Brendan's coming down as one solid formation there. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. Probably more of a jousting match than we've seen in our previous game. I don't think there's going to be as much finesse in terms of dodging and repositioning, especially with all of Akhter's ships moving first. Things like the Red Squadron don't necessarily have the adaptability in terms of repositioning as we've seen from things like Boba Fett or some of the games yesterday with the Aces. So who's your money on then, Dion?
I mean, this is a tough matchup. One of the things that Brendan has the advantage here is the initiative, right? He has the possibility to ace a couple of these Sikhs or Fang fighters early in an engagement, maybe before they get to shoot. Though you can't count out the initiative one. Initiative one means they're moving first, which you can set up blocks, take away some of those modifications. Honestly, on the onset, my heart says the Resistance, but I've seen Akhter play, and I know what that list can do because I was playing something pretty similar to it. So this is a toss-up right now, and I think both our bets and our Choose Your Champion poll right there on the screen really reflect how I feel as well. It's really close right now. Our online poll right now sitting at 54% for Brendan, 53% for Akhter. Our bets are flipped the other way just barely. But yeah, so go ahead, get your bets in. We're going to be closing the polls here in a moment as soon as we see these last couple ships move into position.
Yeah, I mean, one of the interesting things that's going to be in this match is heroic. We see a lot of it. It's all on pretty much all of Brendan's ships. What they don't like to see is tractor beam, because heroic only triggers when you're rolling 2 or more green dice. If all of a sudden you take one of those agility dice away, they don't get the use of heroic. So not only is it able to start to remove the defensive dice, but it's also removing those defensive modifications as well.
Agreed.
I think this might be a quick game.
It might be. All right. So looks like something broke in the code here. So give me a second. I gotta work on something in the background here.
Can they still hear me?
They can.
Cool. I'll try not to swear. So one of the other advantages that Akhter's going to have here is because he is initiative 1, yes, Brendan could initiative kill something and remove a ship before he gets chance. But that also gives Akhter the ability to block. So here we just see one hit there from one of the Red Squadrons into the Fang Fighter. 4 dice, sorry, at range 3, and it's clean. So no damage there from the first shot, and that's possibly the only one that had range to shoot. We're just going through the ships at the moment now to have a look at what they're going to fire with. I think that's Rose in the ship at the front. So no, it looks like there's another shot coming in. And it looks like that's just one hit. It's a crit. So again, it's going to be 4 defensive dice. So again, it's clean. It's going to be difficult for Brendan to do much damage at these high agility ships at that range when they've got the defensive modification as well. So it looks like we've got another ship going into that Seek. He's pouring everything he can into that tractor beam Seek. Actually, no, it looks like he's changing target and going for the Fang Fighter. Interesting choice to try and split up his fire there, but okay, that's Finn. Okay, So there we see 2 evades. Now it looks like Akhter spending the focus to take no damage. So I think, Nick, we've got the colours the wrong way round on the pods. The light blue is Rose and the dark blue is Finn. If you could switch that around, that'd be great. Okay, so now it's the Akhter's turn to fire. So he's starting with the tractor beam Seek. Makes sense. Reduce the agility with that first, and then it is a force multiplier for your other ships. If you manage to get the hit on this, it might be worth him pulling the ship that he tractors, boosting it forwards, because what that then will allow him to do is get extra shots with these other ships that might necessarily not have range at the moment. So it looks like we've got the first Seek is going into the yellow X-Wing. So it will be unobstructed. But with it being a tractor beam, it will be 3 dice. So there's the 3rd dice. And hit crit. That's good news for Akhter there. Let's see if the yellow can manage to evade it. Nope, there's a blank there, which is that's what you would expect. That's the statistical average. And so let's have a look. So yep, he's pulled him forwards, which will then reduce his agility dice, and it will also give shots from the other ships that necessarily didn't have range. Okay, so shots coming in. So we've got hit crit there. So again, it's only going to be 2 defense dice because it's range 3. Guess you spend the focus there. But this yellow X-Wing is going to take some punishment. So now the question is, if that was a tractor beam that was being shot at, you don't spend, because what you do is you take the damage, and it's just going to do the 1 forwards anyway. So puts him into a bit of a difficult position, because obviously he's going to be on that rock next turn. So I think they are just correcting the colours that are on these ships. I think there's been a bit of a mix-up with which colours are on which ships for which upgrades. So I think they're just correcting that right now. Okay, so yellow has lost all of its shields right now.
color am I missing? This one right here. This is supposed to be blue.
Okay, so I think we are now back to dials.
Yep.
So that yellow X-wing there, losing all 3 shields, and
yellow also took structural damage from this last shot. Just letting you know.
Yeah, that yellow's in a bit of a bad shape. Oh no, we've still got some more shots coming in by the looks of it. So this is the real strength of this list. By being tractored, it's really reduced its defensive capability. Now I think this is probably an ion cannon coming in, which if this hits, then it means that yellow X-wing is going to be on that rock next turn. Yeah, I think it was just seen an ion token applied there and a damage card. So that yellow X-wing in a real rough state. By being able to tractor beam the ship forwards and pull it into range of some of the other ships that wouldn't necessarily have got a shot. That's really good range control there on Akhter's part. And so we've still got more shots coming in. Probably just going to go with a primary here. Yeah, so 2 dice. And now he's down to the 1 dice from the structural damage. And yep, because that seat had a focus, it did the 2 damage into X-wing yellow, and we've seen the first ship off the board. So this is putting Akhter in a bit of a commanding presence now, with being up on points, but also from his point of view, he's got more ships on the board. I mean, he did to begin with, and he's got more toys to play with. So this is not going to be good for the resistance here. They're pretty much trapped in a bit of a kill box. It'd be interesting to see if which way they go from Brendan's point of view, and to whether Akhter can manage to get a block off, because he's moving first, he could deny them actions, and that's an even worse day for them. It might be difficult for him to remove one of the ships from the scum side. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a quick game, but it'll still be interesting.
All right, I'm back. The colors are fixed. All is right again. Sorry, Nick. Did you got that all fixed up? So colors now on the right side should be orange, blue, pink. The second one from the top right is blue, not red. Perfection. Yeah, so I was looking into finding like what was the issue really quickly, and what it looks like is the models, like the M3As, are custom models, and so it's an older, we'll call it an older version of the model. So it looks like during the import it didn't update the code on the models, which with the later added auto color coding, it makes it not match when it comes in. So it's weird. It's fine. We're good. We're going. We got this.
One thing I never realized is it's really difficult to commentate on your own.
Yeah.
Like at one point, I didn't know whether my headset was working or not because it just started beeping, and I was just like, it started beeping because there was no sound coming.
Yep.
So I just didn't know whether my headset had stopped working or not, and obviously there's no way. Like when we were doing Worlds, it was quite easy because I had Asa right there to go, no, I can hear you, and you can hear the table anyway, and you can see other stuff going on. Whereas this was just like, I'm just going to keep monologuing and hope that people can hear me.
All right, yeah, we're good. We're good. Shout out to our chat, by the way. We are 5 subs away from giving away one of the ships of your choice from the upcoming wave, a pre-order. So shout out to the chat. We're 5 away, which means that we're also 30 away from giving away that Imperial Officer rank badge. So what did I miss here? Looks like one of the oh my goodness, he lost an X-wing?
So yeah, so it was excellent range control on Akhter's part. What happened with this engagement was that Brendan had shots with 2 of his ships, both with Finn and with the yellow X-Wing. Now, he had a shot into a couple of different targets, but what happened was, because that green sick right out in front, the cartel spacer, because he had a tractor beam, he pulled the yellow ship forwards.
Oh, no.
Which then pulled it into range of everything else. And basically what happened was he just went to town on him. Akhter got really, really good good offensive shots. I mean, they were fully modded anyway, because he didn't have to spend any of his tokens defensively, and effectively traded a whole X-Wing for nothing in return. Even to the point of maximum disrespect. It was a sick that finished him off in the end, because the X-Wing had taken a structural damage as well.
Oh my goodness! So zero
got
agility.
Tracted forwards. Well, it was range 3,
range
so it had
1.
But he took the primary shot, did 2 damage to it, and that finished it off. Either way, it was going to be ioned onto a rock next turn anyway. And so it was, it just showed with really good range control how, even though he's the lower initiative, it really came to play with having that tractor beam there to pull a ship out of position and into range. And this is what I was talking about previously, that being able to move first and get into that position where he's just done with the Zealous Recruit. Most people would want to use the Zealous Recruit to throw out firepower, because they're the biggest guns that you've got. But the speed and maneuverability of them is really key as well. So by being able to put himself there, it's blocked off and potentially denying actions of those 2 back X-Wings. So they're going to have a real rough time if they bump. And that Zealous Recruit's still going to have a shot, because Finn's not going to be able to get away from it, and neither is Rose. So moving in there, I guess, for the to try and get the block on Finn. Because Finn is going to want to do a blue maneuver, because he's strained from last turn. So this really, really good play by Akhter here, just showing what good range control and good formation flying can do.
Absolutely. What we're going to do here really quick, Nick, heads up, we're going to flip the table to be, not literally flip the table, we're going to flip sides so that we get a better view of this fight here, so everybody can get a little closer. Bam, you the man. Telling you, having a good producer on hand makes me look like a god. It's great.
Yeah, it's a shame we've got Nick today, though.
And no Justin. He's no Justin Dexter, you know.
Yeah, no, I miss Justin.
We'll have him back.
He would have caught the color thing straight away.
All right.
I did let Justin know you guys were singing his praises. He appreciates it.
All right, so those X-Wings coming in here saying, listen, we got guns. Let's use them. Now, you see that the only ship that actually got blocked was Finn. All right, that does hurt, because you're not going to get that double focus, but it does mean that the X-Wings were able to get their actions, have shots onto some of these M3As.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're going to block a ship, you want it to be Finn. Because let's be honest, if those X-Wings go into that Fang fighter, he's not going to care, because he gets the Concord Dawn face-off.
Oh, yeah, no, you don't go there.
He's going to be really, really difficult to shift if Brendan goes there. But what that means is, if he's untouched, he's got a 4-dice primary shot onto Finn with a focus.
All right, going into the green M3A here. Range 2. This would be 3-on-3. That's hit, crit.
Ooh. And
that is one of the tractor beam seeks.
Yeah, I think with looking at what disgusting things he's just had done to him, he wants to try and remove those. But yeah, you spend that focus there.
Spends the focus, no damage there.
Yeah, I mean, one of the problems that Brendan's going to have here is that Akhter's ships aren't worth anything. Like, yes, they all add up, but his most expensive ship is 41 points. I mean, some of the cartel spacers with tractor beams are 28 points. Like, he's going after the lowest value target right now. It's a force multiplier for sure, but when we're talking about a points-based game, he's chasing down the least valuable piece.
All right, only one hit this time onto that same target. One evade.
Just getting exactly what he needs.
All right, Rose is up. She has a one, maybe two friendly ships in her arc. Looks like two.
Yeah, so I think you've got to go into the same target.
Yep.
I think you've got 4 ships that can shoot. They've all got to go into the same target here. You've stripped the modification. Now, Rose was the Kingslayer yesterday. She did manage to take out the Dark Lord of the Sith, so let's see if she can do the same. Well, 2 hits is a good way to start.
Yep, had all the mods. Didn't need them on that one. 2 on 3. And another 2 evades. This Seek refuses to die. Finn now has 2 dice. And just 1 crit.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like Crack Shot was used, by the way, on Rose. So 1 shield on Green. And that'll be safe there. So Green only gets out of there taking a single shield. That is good news for Octacon, bad news for Brendan.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Finn taken off here.
Yep, he's going to have quite a few shots coming in. That is a range 1 shot coming in from that Zealous recruit.
I'm surprised he's not started with the tractor beam.
Could be a misplay, or he's just excited, man. He also has the possibility of saving the tractor beam, maybe thinking for another...
Potentially, yeah, you've got
for
Rose that you can use it at. And throw Rose onto a rock.
Safe.
He'll have spent the focus there, so probably just takes the 1 shield. So yeah, here we've got the tractor beam. Going into Finn.
Yep. And yes, I'm sorry, yeah, Finn did take the 1 shield from spending the focus. 2 hits. And
yeah, so tractor now.
Probably gets barrel rolled off of the red one.
Yeah, so if you pull him out and to the right, you then the second Fang Fighter gets a good shot at him. And now, obviously, he denies him the use of heroic.
And he may have actually barrel rolled him out of arc. Yep, a little bit too far there. No shots for the... no shot onto Finn. He will get to shoot between Rose or that other X-Wing.
So here we've got the Fang Fighter probably going into Rose. 2 hits. She gets a reroll because of the friendly ship. So 1 evade. So again, the shield off of Rose there.
Plinking away, plinking away.
Yeah, and that's what this swarm does really well, is just slowly starts to chip away at the shields and the hull and things like that. So he's got the blue Seek now with the ion cannon, which probably wants to just start piling into Rose as well, because you've got shots on with the other ships as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, 2 evades there.
So we've got the orange Cartel Spacer, which is another tractor beam one. So can go at Rose and throw her onto the rock. But it's not then going to help out the last Cartel Spacer. So maybe he goes for red and barrel rolls him forwards to try and close the distance.
Orange has an ion cannon.
Ah, okay. In the overlay, it says tractor beam.
We'll get it sorted. It's when during the color switching is when it happened, because you can't in the overlay you could change the colors, but you can't change the upgrades around. Yeah, Nick's got it. He knows what to do.
Fair enough. We love you, Nick.
All right.
There are a lot of hands moving around right now.
There are. All right, here we go.
Okay, so it looks like we've got... Is it going to be pink or orange first? It makes sense for it to be pink.
I think the issue may have been during the color change. I may have confused him on which one was what. I could have made a mistake. Right. It's definitely possible.
Okay.
Just switch the... Okay, we gotta switch.
So one hit with...
Switch the cards, not the colors. That's what they need to do.
Okay, so that's evaded cleanly. So I'm assuming that was the tractor beam there that didn't do anything. And then we'll have the ion cannon coming in now. He may just go primary. Okay, so spends the focus for hit quit. So that'll be the tractor beam, the ion cannon. So that ship's going to be taking a shield and ioned. So that's going to be a difficult position for it. It's going to be an easy one for Akhter to block. Probably not going to be able to capitalise on damaging it too much though, just with where the rest of his ships are. So what we've seen there is in the first engage, Akhter was really able to capitalise on all of his ships shooting at the same target. Where he is at the moment with the ships being in different positions, he wasn't able to get all of his guns onto to one target. So that's why we've seen the damage spread around a little bit more.
All right. All right. Well, it looks like just those two will stay switched. That's just really
We'll
good.
just guess. It's fine.
So those watching, go by the rings, not by the base colors for those. All right. Would it change anything if I had them just switch the cards? Because one's a tractor, one's an ion. Maybe did Nick run over there already?
Possibly. I guess as long as the players are happy and understand which one's which.
It can get really confusing at a glance though, because they're literally opposite colors.
Yeah. Don't fly swarms, people.
Timo, I love you, buddy. I'm literally what I'm trying to do right now.
I just talked to the players, and the cards are all in the right spot. So
I understand that. The problem, Nick, is that the colors are literally opposite. You have an orange ring on a pink base and a pink ring on an orange base, or orange-brown. So we need to switch the upgrades so that they're on the right ships and we can have the matching colors, because it's really confusing, and as a player I don't want any type of salt because the colors didn't match and there's confusion on what target you were going after.
okay.
Yeah, so if you guys get that fixed, we can pause the timer if they need it.
Okay.
If Timo's in the chat, does that mean his game's finished already?
I'm honestly sure not which Timo.
There's only one Timo. Apparently, no, there is more than one Timo.
Yep, there's more than one. There's many
But there
Timo.
can be only one. Okay, so they're just getting that set up and sorted now, so...
All right, it's all taken care of.
Thank you, sir.
Well, Ian, if you're going to get beaten by players, then at least you could get beaten by good players. You just need to play more.
Who are you talking to?
Ian in the chat, he's saying he wish he didn't play the Timo he played yesterday. He's still sore after the beating you gave him.
Okay, so Daryl, my friend. I know you kind of maybe tuned in a little bit late. We made a correction. There was confusion. The players had it figured out. We simply fixed it to match the stream colors right now. We got you, fam. We got you. There's no cheating. We're good. Players are good. No problem. We're fine. How are you? I love you too.
Wait, is that Irish Daryl?
Yeah.
Time to get back in his box.
I love my Irish Daryl though.
No, nobody does.
Now he's my favorite Irish Daryl though.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
But he's so salty.
But what if you like salty things?
I've heard that about you.
All right, cool. But now all things match. We good now? Let's roll. So looking at the position here, let's just do a recap after all the color stuff. No, so with the bets, no, the player numbers won't change. This is simply for a better view. I flipped it for you guys. But no, yeah. So Akhter's still player 2 and Brendan's still player 1 in the bets. Don't worry, fam. I got you. I got you. Nick, remind me to do the bets the right way at the end. All right, so we got 35 minutes and change left in this round. This engagement is going to be really interesting. So you have, let me go ahead and switch something up here on my side so I don't get in the way. You have the red X-Wing. Red X-Wing is ionized, so he's going to be forced to go 1 forward. All right, well, here we go. So this is a bump from the Zealous Recruit turning at Finn. Clears the stress, but probably is out of the way unless, you know, some of the other ships do some K-turns.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. I'm not sure why he didn't go for the K-turn there. Because that would have dropped you in behind the formation.
Yep. A couple of people are asking if we're going to have a break after this one. There will not be well, there's a break after the top 4. So that would be before the final if the players want it. If the players just want to jump into it, we'll just jump into it. So, optional break. It is a 2-hour final.
So,
go for it.
So it looks like he's going to go in hard on Finn here. I mean, red X-Wing number 1, he's going to go forwards and just bump.
Mm-hmm.
But then it really is going to be a bit of a cluster. And he's bumped there with that Seek as well. So there's not really much Finn can do to get out of it unless he's seen it and tries to bank over. So
nope, looks like the plan was just to put Finn in that corner without any actions. I mean, Finn is amazing when he has his modifications. The problem is that, of course, Akhter has focused him out, making sure that he doesn't get his mods, and will probably be short for this world.
Yeah, I mean, having the Seek and the Fang Fighter shooting at him at range 1 might do some damage, especially with the no defensive modifications and things like that. So it's going to be interesting. Could still get the track to beam off on him from the brown Seek that's further down, just to reduce his agility first and gets him an extra shot in with the green Seek. Mm-hmm. But we'll see what happens.
All right. So we have a range 1 shot into pink coming from Rose. Rose does have a friendly ship in her arc, so she will have 1 reroll. 3 dice coming in.
And she's got the focus, so.
Doesn't need it. Hit, crit, crit.
Ooh.
Could lay some pain here. Might spend the focus there. Just a shield, though.
Yeah, I think you spend the focus, otherwise you're taking the crit. Yeah, so there's Akhter spending the focus. There's one thing these cartel spaces don't like is crits. Okay, going to take a range 1 here from red. So I mean, this could, in theory, just get rid of that ship. So hit crit. Now, if this is a direct, then
that could be bad.
Yeah, then Brendan's starting to claw some points back. So it depends what this crit is.
Let's find out.
Usually, it'll be something like a fuel leak.
It's a stun pilot. So after you execute a maneuver, if you go through an obstacle, you take a hit. It's very rare.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those ones you just don't care about.
Nope.
Typically in these situations, normally, if it's something that's down to one hull, it'll be a fuel leak or a hull breach.
The blink crit, eh?
Yeah. If it was an A-wing, it would definitely be a direct. Because that's how A-wings die.
All right, 3 hits. Going into
orange, I guess.
There's a focus out there. Was that into blue? Probably was into blue, the unmodified one.
Yeah.
Yep, shielded a
so going
card.
into blue, so half points. So yeah, Brendan slowly chipping away at some points, but as you see, he's got half points on 2 ships, and he's still behind. So I guess Finn goes into blue as well. It makes sense, that's why he went into blue, because you then get a 3-die shot from Finn into another ship. Where's the 4th die coming from? Did Finn not shoot?
Not sure. Finn missed. This might have been the other X-wing.
Okay. So no, that shot was the Zealous recruit into Finn.
Got it. Got it.
So now I think it's the blue into Finn. So 1 hit. And it takes a damage. So Finn now down to 1 hull. So I think you go with brown, orange into him, yeah. And probably just go primary. There's an argument to say you could go tractor beam to pull him off and give Green a shot, but
we'll see where he decides to go.
He's just going with the primary.
2 hits.
Yeah, I think this is a dead Finn now.
All right. So took the damage there. So Finn at this point has been taken off the board after taking 4 damage cards during that attack. We have one last attack here. Got pink going into the red X-wing. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Brendan there for maximum disrespect should have added the. He's going the primary, not the primary, the cannon.
Yep.
So, but yeah, for maximum disrespect, Brendan should have taken the strain on Finn.
And this is an ion cannon. That's why he was trying to get him ionized, but
yeah.
Only the damage.
Now Akhter slowly advancing his lead. So he's going to have to kill, what, at least 2 other ships to try and close that gap?
Mm-hmm.
And his ships are in a bit of a difficult position right now from where they currently sit. I think we might see the K-turn from Rose here. And then possibly just the hard turns with red and pink. But he's going to be hard pushed to get some actions. Because those 2 Sikhs, they move very much like TIE fighters, so they've got the hard one option available to them, and the hard one barrel roll then just gets in and blocks things up. They're very, very easy to turn around and just keep in the fight. They're good at knife fighting, and as we've seen, they've not really popped that 1 extra shield. Allows them to take a little bit more damage.
Agreed. Now, here I have a question for you. There's a debate, a little bit of a debate going off in the chat, and I think we'll set it off again. We'll have a little fun here. So there's a debate in the chat asking if this is related to our last game, talking about Boba Fett. Is Boba Fett plus like the Maul Slave 1 combo? We'll start here. Is it in hyperspace? Is it too cheap? In the hyperspace format, is it overpowered and undercosted in the hyperspace format?
In any format of any game system,
I was gonna lead there. I was gonna lead there. Don't ruin my lead.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try again. Ready?
Sorry.
All right. So in hyperspace,
I like jumping.
You just jump.
I like jumping straight to the end and just blowing my. Yeah.
So in hyperspace, do you think it is undercosted? Yes or no?
Yes. Yeah. With the Slave 1 and Maul on Boba Fett, in that point system as it's currently curated, he is a very strong piece. Do I think that's a bad thing? No.
Okay. Now, next question. So now in Extended, you do have more ships that can prey on him that are at Initiative 6.
Yep.
You might then argue that maybe he's less undercosted in Extended.
Yes.
But is he still undercosted in Extended?
In Extended, he is less undercosted, but you look at like Boba Fett lists, they can take a hell of a bid. Like you're talking kind of in some instances like 17 to 20 point bid, and still be a very, very good ship, a very, very good list. So anything that can bid that deep and still have all those toys, there's something there that's probably a little bit slightly out of kilter from a balance point of view. Again, do I think it's a bad thing? Probably not. There is an argument to say you could have 2-point systems, one for hyperspace and one for extended.
I think that'll just confuse people, but I mean I could see the argument there. Now here's the question.
Yeah, it absolutely will confuse people because you then kind of
which one do I do?
You have to remember what upgrades and what ships are in what system, but how many points are things. It would get very, very confusing. But I think if you want to have perfect balance, you'd have to go with a 2-point system for the two systems that you've got, the hyperspace and the extended, or you just live with it.
True.
Sorry, next question.
And then the next question is, if you were to balance it, if Darren, I was reading Daryl's name. If Darren Granger was in charge, would you change Slave 1 first, or would you change Boba Fett first?
Slave 1.
All right. Okay. Cool. So this is like the thought path I like to lead people down, just because I know like it's really easy just to throw out like, this is fact and this is what I think, but just kind of thinking through that. I think it's a good thought exercise when talking about it.
I think the first thing that you staple onto Boba Fett is Slave 1.
Yep.
Because it just it's just such a multiplier, as we saw in the last game. Being able to change your position so easily for 1 point. And I know people will say, well, why not change Boba Fett's points? But actually, even if you were to put Slave 1 title onto another fire spray, it's still a great upgrade at 1 point.
Very true.
You compare it to things like Navigator and things like that. It really is just such a bargain buy.
All right, well, we have some attacks coming in here. Double focuses from Rose. She has some friendly ships. Reroll, try again. 1 hit going into the pink Cartel Spacer, who is stressed right now. No focus on that one. Going to be taking 1 damage there.
Okay, bet everything on Rose. On the last dice roll. That's what this game's going to come down to.
Hit, crit, focus. This is the X-Wing.
Yeah, you spend that focus.
Hit, crit, going into the, I believe that is the yellow Zealous Recruit.
Is that yellow?
Yep,
yeah.
That's half points there.
Yeah, depending on what that crit is as well, it could give it a really bad day.
The crit is a damage engine. So
Ooh, that
increase the
is not what a
difficulty.
Fang Fighter wants to see. Like in its current position, not too bad, but yeah, I think he's going to go into it again. Is this range 3 now into that Fang Fighter?
Range 3 into that same Fang Fighter, possibly. He's got the focus for 3.
Yeah,
he only has 3
hits.
dice, so he's going into the red one. Nope, no, there's the 4th one. Okay, so it is the yellow.
I think it's going to be a dead Fang.
Got him.
Takes 2, yeah.
Yellow off the table. Brendan climbing forward, getting rid of that yellow, puts him at 73 points. Yep, 10 points behind.
Yeah, and those X-Wings are in a really, really good position for next turn as well. Being able to get where they got to with the focus modification without being able to be blocked, really, really good for Brendan there. So we've got green first, who's a tractor beam. Makes sense. You tractor beam him, you pull him forwards. So he's at range 1 in arc of the Zealous Recruit with -1 agility.
Yep, and he's going into the pink X-Wing.
I guess. Yeah.
That's
So
2 hits.
Chances are he's going to be tractored.
Got him. Does the boost forward put him on the rock? It does not, but he could barrel roll him forward, give him a hard time next turn.
No, I think you boost him forwards just to guarantee the shot. Yeah, there you go.
There
guarantee
it is.
the shot from the red Fang Fighter.
So Red Fang Fighter is going to have a juicy shot here at range 1. Still has a focus and only into a 1 agility X-Wing.
Yeah, so that X-Wing doesn't get the benefit of heroic.
All right,
Ooh.
3 hits and a crit.
That is going to sting.
All right, taking 3. The pink X-Wing is only going to lose shields there.
Yeah, that's quite fortunate that he managed to get the evade there, because taking a crit onto that X-Wing at this point is, would have been pretty brutal. I mean, it was brutal enough, but he's not taking any more shots this turn, so...
That red Fang Fighter, though, is going to be on him. It's, he has... I mean, what do we think that red X-Wing is going to do? Is going to Talon roll? K-turn? You got to get it back in the fight.
I think you Talon roll with it. The problem is it's where the green Sikh goes and the Fang Fighter, so you can't K-turn because of where that debris cloud is. So really, you're looking at a Talon roll.
All right, here's the orange Sikh into red. There was 1 hit there.
Yeah, so just 1 hit because he bumped. He got no action there, so he should be okay from this. Yep, there's the evade. So I think he was hoping for the tractor beam there to pull him into the arc of blue.
All right. All right, and here
So we've
is
got the
pink onto
the
the
ion
red.
cannon.
This is our stunned pilot cartel spacer with 1 health only. Trying to do a little bit of damage
just
on the
1
way
hit.
out. Safe.
And gets the evade. See, the danger there is that even if it had got the ion on him, he's just doing a 1 forwards and focusing, so that's not a bad position for that guy to be in. Yes, you could have got a block. You can potentially get a block on it, but do you just go for the damage in that race there? It's an interesting call.
Now, just really quick update here. Our 3 other games are already done.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and so they were all to complete destruction. You had Eno winning 200-59 against Kuba. So our top in Swiss has been defeated. Ali did win his game versus Sammy, going 200-0.
Who's Ollie? Never heard of him.
And then at table 4, Timo Lars wins 200-86 versus Andreas Carlsen, which means that the last Rebel Hope has been removed from the tournament.
Good. Space terrorists.
So this is our last game, our last game that's left.
So interestingly, then we've got 2 Dengars. We've still got Dengars. I like this.
We still have Dengars. We'll probably have a Dengar on stream next round.
We need to wake Marcel up so he can learn how to fly a jump master.
Sad times for faction diversity. I mean, I think it's one of those things with every point update, there's a different faction that's going to rise, different faction that's going to fall. Definitely in this latest points update, Scum has really risen to the top. But you got to remember, before that points update, Scum was not around. It really wasn't. So, yeah, things will ebb and things will flow, but luckily, because we have been blessed with points changes, things will change. I expect Scum to still be strong, but you know, there's a chance for something else to rise.
Yeah, and we've also got to remember that this is a different kind of event to actual tabletop. So there are difficulties with doing it on TTS, especially with swarms. So I know here we've got 6 ships against 5 ships. But I'm talking about kind of the First Order 8 TIE fighters, or the Vulture droid swarm, which those ships rely heavily on the setup phase, so that you can maintain your positioning and your distance from each other, so you don't bump. But in this format, using TTS, it's really, really difficult to get that setup right at the beginning of the game. So we've got to remember that actually using Vulture droids in this environment is a lot more difficult. Because let's be honest, when you set it up on a tabletop, you stick a maneuver template in between, and you know you've got the perfect distance between your ships to be able to do your turns, do your banks, and not bump. On this, if you're a couple of pixels out either way, all of a sudden your entire formation falls apart.
Very true.
So
very true.
We've got to take that into account, that we're not seeing necessarily the Vulture droid dominance that we've seen at previous tournaments, and I for one welcome that slight change.
All right.
So here's a question for you then, Dion.
Yes. Ooh.
With the changes to obviously play as it is at the moment, so we're not having tournaments and things like that, do you think the points update is still going to come around soon, or do you think they're going to leave us in this hyperspace window? Because obviously when you look at the points that were given and the ships that were in there, it was based around, my gut feel is that it was based around having the droid gunship, the Lat fighter, and the First Order shuttle also included in that kind of time period, because let's not forget they should have been out by now.
Right.
So what's your thoughts on that? Do you think it needs a change up, or do you think we should stay with what we've got for now?
I think we're going to see some changes, some small changes. I don't think there'll be anything super drastic, though there is an argument to say that in this time of not having events would have been a great opportunity for the devs to really look into a lot of tournament data and make some really important micro changes. Maybe things where things shift 1 or 2 points because they have the time to actually go through the data. Assuming, of course, we don't know what they're working on in the background, but this could have been maybe really a close opportunity to do some small changes that make big differences. Make a couple of lists that end up, at 201 points where something doesn't quite fit anymore. Things where a really powerful list can't quite have a full bid anymore, or not like 17 points, some subtle things like that. But you're right, yeah, we would have had those other 3 ships there added to, so it would have been a Republic ship, a First Order ship, and a Separatist ship.
Oh, yeah.
And those are 3 factions that on tabletop, Separatists were doing pretty gung-ho without those 3. But we could have definitely seen some changes maybe from the First Order and from the Republic.
Okay, so there we see the turnout by the Fang Fighter. That's blocking a slow move, but do we think we're going to see a barrel roll from there as well to try and block the Talon, or is he just going to try and block that up with the with this Fang Fighter?
I think he'll take it there. There you go. So both the 4K and the Talon roll are covered now.
Well, it depends if he has the Talon roll or Toronto roll.
Oh, Canada. Love you, Canada, if you're watching. We got any Canada in the chat?
It's great. Their national catchphrase is a sigh. I love Canadians. They're like the better Americans.
Fight me? I don't know.
So I think Red is just probably going to do the 1 forwards here. Oh, Talon rolled that way.
Aha! Saw some trouble coming, but let's see. That is a tractor beam Seek pointing at him, so that could be sad news.
Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting. And then Red's just bumped there. So now that Cartel Spacer is relatively untouched. So it would be difficult for him to try and take him out. Rose didn't bump, so she's in a slightly better position. She's not taking any shots herself, so it's a question of can the X-Wing and Rose take out that...
Kingdom for a focus there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think we're going to get that Seek taken out, but... So going into orange.
And 2 crits.
Oh, 2 crits.
This is range 3 through the rock, and just barely gets it.
Yeah, it keeps his focus as well, which is interesting. And then we've got Rose now. I think you probably take the shot into orange.
Yeah, I mean, just keep trying. It's right there. Is it range 1? Yes.
Looks range 1. Has Rose still got crack shot?
That's exactly what I was going to go look at it. No, it's been spent.
I still think you go range 1. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Take the 3 dice. You've got to reroll. You've got to focus.
Can reroll only 1.
Confused what's going on there.
Did we lose a die? We lost. The box did the thing. Did the weird thing. Oh, I'm going to have to replace the dice box.
Okay, so it looks like they've rolled the dice out of the dice box and managed to evade that cleanly.
1 second, everybody.
Okay, so now we've got the tractor beam Seek. Looks like he's going into the pink Red Squadron Expert, so he can cause him problems if he manages to get him onto that rock. Not only will he take the rock this turn, he'll also take the rock next turn, so... Still a very, very close game here with Akhter just ahead, but Brendan's got a chance. He just needs to do a little bit more damage on a couple of these ships. Unfortunately, the ones that are currently damaged, so the purple and blue cartel spacers, are pretty much behind his formation now. So chances are they're going to limp away, protecting those points. They're probably not going to come back into this fight anytime soon. So it's a question of, can Brendan get half points on another one of these ships without losing anything in return? I mean, Rose Tico is one away from half, and the pink-red squadron is also one away from half. So if he manages to catch him with this tractor beam and drop him on the rock, then there's a couple of dice rolls there that statistically he should take the damage, and then Akhter gets another 23 points to further his lead, possibly taking out of Brendan's reach. But we're probably only going to have one more round after this.
Yep. Now,
just because of the
time and the amount of ships. Yeah, the time and the amount of ships that need to be moved is the trouble here. Now, for Brendan, if they can move quickly, do you think an additional turn would help?
I think it would. Just based on where the position of Akhter's ships are, they're all spread around. Pink and blue cartel spaces are going to find it difficult to get back in the fight and be relevant. And because he's got that initiative kill possibility, another round for Brendan would be quite handy. But it's unlikely.
All right, everybody. 4 minutes left. Remember, anybody who did participate in the bets, don't worry about the current position of the players. And actually, we're probably in a spot where we can go back to our original view. There we go. Look at that, Nick on it. Nick, please clap for Nick. Take your bow, Nick. That was beautiful. The chat is clapping for Nick. Good auto switch there. So that we have our original position, so that when we divvy out the bets, we know that it goes to the correct player. I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. It really means a lot. Appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are having fun with some X-Wing content. I know we're having a good time here at GSP. All right, so one turn there from the Zealous Recruit.
So yeah, I think Akhter was a little bit unfortunate. The tractor beam didn't manage to catch the X-Wing and drop him on that rock. Because again, it's a chance for him to do some damage that he didn't manage to capitalize on. So what have we got here then? So we've got is that a Talon roll from the X-Wing? Yep. Rose just going straight, and the X-Wing going forwards and clearing his stress.
Clear the stress.
Don't think he cut the rock either. So
nope. Takes the focus. All right, here we go.
Okay, so Rose going into green, so that makes sense because it's one away from half.
Hit crit, there we go. The spacer does have a focus, though.
I don't think you've got the dice box up, Dion. There we go.
And the crit is going through. That's half points.
So that's half points, so that gets Brendan close to where he needs.
And the crit is Panic Pilot, double stress. Not super relevant if this is the right last turn.
Lead. And he's going to have very, very little to come back. Has Rose gone and done it again?
Maybe. Well, this red X-Wing has a possibility of taking a little bit more. No, with one hit, that's not going to do it.
Okay, so that was the... Okay,
So you
we
take the
just
shot
got
on
this-
pink. You take the shot on pink because they're both range 3, but pink only has 1 hole left.
Yep, he's got to spend that focus. I think he's, yeah.
Going to blue?
He's spending the focus. I think personally that I think I'd have held on that focus there from that X-wing, because that pink X-wing now is interesting. Have the colours changed when we flipped the camera back?
No, it shouldn't have.
Because it looks like the pink X-wing for me is showing up as blue.
I think the color rings got stacked somehow. There was a weird thing that happened. I see what happened. It's easy fix. That happened.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay, so this basically comes down to this dice roll as to whether that cartel spacer can do a damage to that X-wing.
All right. So it looks like they're going through points right now. Probably wondering what the score is and all that.
Yeah, so the red fang has no shot. The green cartel spacer has no shot. The pink cartel spacer has no shot. Blue potentially has a shot on the pink X-wing. And then the orange cartel spacer has a shot on the pink X-wing. But that is it. Which is why I think it was a little bit risky for Brendan to spend that focus there.
Mm-hmm.
Because he probably didn't think, he might not realise that it was ahead on points, and this is where the points bit is really, really important.
That's right. Last few shots here. Akhter just going through his options.
Yeah, so unfortunately the cartel spacer that's got the shot has a tractor beam, not an ion cannon, because really what you'd want is you'd want the 3 dice just to be able to do the damage, because you need 1 point of damage to get the half points. Whereas, so if you had the 3 dice from the cannon, the way that ion cannon works is you take the damage, then you take the ion. Whereas, because he's now going to have to rely on his primary, it's a 2 dice primary, so it's 2 dice versus 2 dice.
Well,
now,
he can take the tractor beam, you push him forward, and then you have an ion cannon in range from blue.
You do. It is an option. It's tricky. If blue has arc,
because then the other option is that you get a primary shot, though it's only 2 dice, with green on the tractor beamed X-wing, if that goes that way.
Green's facing that way. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought green was facing towards the red fang. No, he's facing towards Rose Tico. So we've got a few more shots here than I realised.
Yeah, we got one more turn as well. They did get to.
Have we?
It looks like it. There's dials being set. Yep, this is the final turn.
Oh.
So one more turn. So I was asking before, it's like, does one more turn benefit which player? And then looks like Akhter's going to get an opportunity to catch some more points. But that also, like, let's take a look. These X-Wings are in a good spot to also get points.
Yeah. I think Akhter took the option to quickly set a dial as opposed to not shoot. Because he must have realised that it was behind on points. To then basically get an extra turn.
Yep.
That's really, really good thinking.
Give myself one more chance.
Now that he might come back and kick himself for that, 'cause he could have got the extra point of damage there.
Yeah, we just got to see how it shakes out. We don't know.
Yeah. Now, from Akhter's point of view, he's in a good position because that red fang just does a hard one, focuses, and then he's got Rose that he's staring down into the gun barrels of. He's then got the other two cartel spaces that are now at the top of the mat that can easily turn in. He's still got more guns that can get some points. I mean, Rose is... Where's Rose at the minute? So Rose is one away from half, and the pink X-Wing is one away from half as well. So Akhter needs to make sure that they're his primary targets and put his ships into positions to try and get those points. But equally, obviously, we've got Blue, who is 2 away from death, purple, pink Spacer, which is 1 hit away from death, and green is 2 away from death. Green's probably going to be difficult to catch just from where it currently is to where the rest of the ships are. But what we'll probably see from green is, I think, probably like a 2-bank or something. But panicked pilot, so it pretty much means his entire dial's open to him because he's not going to get an action anyway. So something like a 3-bank there to still make sure he gets a shot onto the pink X-Wing and just close that distance. But yeah, so I think the only ship that's probably going to have a shot on Rose is going to be the Fang fighter.
All right.
I think if I'm Brendan in this situation, I think with Rose, I just get the hell out of there. You want to try and get that bump in against the Fang, so you want to go in with. Does he have?
Right now, just looking at the dial, it looks like the one that Akhter was kind of flip flopping on was the green cartel spacer.
Right.
And then the red X-wing for Brendan was also the one in question.
Yeah, so I guess with Rose, it's got the 3K, but you don't really want to do that. So I think you just take the 4 forwards, take the stress. But I still don't think that bumps. That's the problem there. Yeah, Rose is in a bit of a tough spot with that Fang if it gets the range 1 shot on her, because she's never going to get the half points or kill it. Yeah, it's Akhter's in a really good spot here, even though he's behind. I think it's Akhter's game to lose. So before they flip dials and things, Dion, who are you betting on?
It's, you know what? Literally, I was gonna bring up the bets I got placed. Our bets were 50-50, even split. So no idea.
My money on right now, Akhter.
There you go.
Which is strange, considering he's behind.
Yeah, there's a chance. Now, a quick note. I know there was some issues. I feel like an idiot right now. I have to. You know, when I make a mistake or something like that, I like to own it when I can. So remember there was an issue with Akhter's colors earlier. Turns out, dude's colorblind. So it all makes sense because the ones that were having issues were the ones who they have a similar saturation. I was like, man, why would these two be flipped? Anyway, so might make a little more sense now. Why we had
he's run with that. Yep, takes the evade, trying to protect that spacer from giving up its points.
All right. So yeah, he ran away with that one. But that the red the pink X-wing, excuse me, can just go hard into there though. Three bank might get range one even.
If Brendan's just on a slow move here with just say like a one straight there. Now he needs to do a couple of points of damage onto the red X-wing to get half points. And yeah, there we see the red fang turning in.
Orange is a tractor beam. So yeah, you can go hard at that pink Seek and not be scared at all. Like there's no threats out there. Because you need to make sure you get some points because your red X-wing, like you said, is in danger of giving up points.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean both X-wings are in danger of giving up points, but just from looking at the void position right now, pink's probably going to be safe. Ooh, Rose turned down. Yeah, not wanting to face that that problem from the Fang fighter. But it does mean that she's probably not going to get shot either. So probably just want us to take the focus. Probably out of range from pink. I'd be interested to see what red did. If red turned in, probably going to bump. So whether he just decides to bug out and do a straight maneuver, he is stressed. So. Ooh, Rose with the barrel roll.
Strong. Blue is an ion cannon. Honestly, well, there's the red Fang fighter over there. Ooh, what are you gonna do? Jam?
Yeah, the thing is,
jam maybe.
Sorry,
I said maybe a jam. No, took the barrel roll though. They got him out of the out of the arc.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the safest option. It gets you out of the arc of the Fang fighter, but it does put you in a bit of a dangerous position if that tractor beam manages to hit. Is that a bump? No.
Nope. That fit. Sitting there, range one of that ion cannon Seek.
Do these guys have a barrel roll linked action?
They do if you close the wings, but the wings were not closed.
Okay.
But then you have to have bullseye in order to have your full dice, which I think barrel rolling there would have taken them out of the bullseye.
Yeah, so
this was a safe one bank here. Man, I really would have liked to see that.
I think that's taken him out of arc of orange as well. Yeah, it just takes focus.
This is going to be close.
Yeah, so whatever happens now, I mean, Brendan's done a really, really good job of losing an X-Wing in that initial engagement. It would be quite easy for anyone to be on tilt from that point.
Absolutely. Here we go.
To then
range
to
2
have a
in the bullseye
at the moment. So he's got 3 dice going into 3 dice. That's no points.
Yep, the evade token basically cancels that out.
Like I don't see why he's just spent that focus, because he's got the evade on that Seek.
I mean, for the process, there's no shots.
If he gets shot now by the red Fang.
All right, range 1.
Okay.
Red X-wing going into one of these guys. Only one evade there. That was into. Just double checking.
I guess blue. So blue should have taken hit crit there because the yeah. So blue's dead.
Blue got taken off the board. Okay, so that's 102 coming up. But again, there are some shots coming back.
Yeah. So there's potential shots into the red X-wing, but the reason I don't agree with the spending of the focus on pink is if you look at where that red Fang is, there's a chance that he can get half points on him.
You're right. But let's stay focused in here. We've got another attack coming in right now. Of course. Then they slowed down. I agree. Yeah, if he would have taken the damage there. But I don't know if the red Fang Fighter has a shot at range, but he could, maybe. Maybe it'll work out though. What do you think, Darren?
I kind of want to see that pink X-wing now explode just to prove a point. Teach him a lesson.
Teach him a lesson. All right, here we go. So the green Cartel Spacer has a tractor beam, but so you could tractor beam him into range 1 of the orange one if the tractor beam hits. It's your best chance of actually getting a hit.
Yeah, you tractor beam him and put him more.
But at the same time, you also have the... Oh, man. You got to debate if the red Fang Fighter has range 2 or range 3.
-1 agility from orange, so you fire with a primary.
All right. So he's going with the Fang Fighter first. It was at range 3 the whole time. Here we go.
Have we lost Dion?
Nope, I'm here.
Nick?
All right. So we got 2 evades there off the 1 hit. So... Are you back? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What did I miss?
All right, there was an attack. Sorry, I was trying to get that fixed and I looked away. 2 evade dice, and I think he may have just gotten half points on that X-Wing. Takes a damage card. Where's that take our score?
That
puts him ahead.
106.
102 to 106. The extra round changed the whole game. Akhter getting that dialed on ASAP. Clock awareness. We talk about clock awareness all the time, and that was a great moment for it.
Yeah. Like, not taking the shots the turn before put him into a stronger position.
All right, well.
So Akhter, if you're listening, quick. Table flip.
The flip is disabled. All right, guys.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm so boring.
Right, I'm totally not going to remind you to show the belt now.
All right. Well, thank you to those players for playing so much. I'm going to make sure I type that in the chat that he... good game. Good game. Thanks for playing, guys.